It's now day 3 of NBA free agency, and so far the Miami Heat have acquired Simone Fontecchio.
It's me.
Yeah, I know a lot of Heat fans aren't excited about that, but there is some other exciting names that are potentially on the move. We talked about maybe Giannis asking out now because, of course, Damian Lillard was waived, so he's now a free agent too. Just earlier today, Brian Windhorst was on ESPN kind of teasing that there may be a trade market for LeBron right now, but who needs LeBron when we have Dain Dainja, the 260-pound monster who is Heat culture personified?
Said it, I'm golden. Told you I'm shining. Had to break through. Plan perfect timing. Giving no hands. Go get it. Radix the ruler. King them peasants. Want to win plus.
Listen, we may talk LeBron in the future. We may do some more Giannis talk if there's some more rumors that come out. We might even do a deep dive on Kuminga or DeMar DeRozan if I really get desperate. But I'm tired of all of that because in reality, the Heat are likely going to do nothing, at least in terms of getting a big name in the trade market or free agency. So let's talk about the guys who are actually here right now. I previously said in some of my other videos that the Summer League was starting in a couple of weeks, but I was mistaken because that was Las Vegas Summer League, when really the California Classic starts this Saturday, which hit me like a ton of bricks when I found that out because literally Heat basketball is back in just 3 days. And most likely the most exciting Heat basketball we're going to get all season, because I would argue that the high point of last year is when the Heat won the Summer League championship. So if you're not watching, definitely tune in. And the California Classic kicks off this weekend, in which they're actually going to play 3 games in 4 nights. So an action-packed weekend before then moving on to the Vegas Summer League, which is the big one with the whole tournament and everything that they won last year. Of course, I'll be covering the entire Summer League and all the games on this channel, so make sure y'all subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm also on the grind to hit 8,000 subs. We're almost there, less than 100 away, so make sure to hit that button and like this video. All your support is greatly appreciated. So with Summer League coming up quickly, I wanted to discuss another guy that the Heat added to their roster, and of course, that's Dain Dainja, who has one of the most exciting names, or is exciting even the right word, scary, just dominant basketball, Heat culture fit names. Dain Dainja, that guy was meant to be an athlete or an NBA legend or something with a name like that. And I'm glad to have him on the roster. So far, we broke down Vlad Golden, Steve Settle III, and Omar Ballo. If you watched my videos on those guys, then you would see that the Heat are finally looking to do something that they've needed to do for a long time, which is add size. Steve Settle III, he's less of a bruiser, but he's still 6'11". But Vlad Golden is 7'1", 250 pounds. And then Omar Ballo is just a beast at 7 feet tall, 260 pounds. And that trend of continuing to add size continues with Dain Dainja, who is 6'9", but with a 7'7" wingspan. A plus 10 in wingspan is just insane. That's an NBA frame right there, 6'9" with a 7'7" wingspan, not to mention that he's 260 pounds. So the same exact weight as Omar Ballo, who's 3 inches taller. So this guy is just an absolute a bruiser. He's a bowling ball, and he definitely knows how to use his body, and that's something that gets me excited. Hey, yo, what? Anyways, he's got a big body. What can I say? There's one thing that I don't like about the Miami Heat. It's Terry Rozier. But if there's 2 things I don't like about the Miami Heat, it's for how the last 5 or 6 years they've had this theme of using guys who play bigger than they are. Think PJ Tucker, who was a 6'5" power forward. Think Caleb Martin, who was 6'5", and they played at power forward. Think Haywood Highsmith, who was also 6'5", playing power forward. Seriously, ESPN is Haywood Highsmith at 6'5", the official website. I've seen him anywhere from 6'5" to 6'7", but even at 6'7", he's still too small to play power forward. And I like Highsmith, but I think he's more of a wing, more of a 2-3, although he also has like a 7-foot wingspan. But finally, for the, I guess, starting the second half of last season, the Heat are starting to transition away from that super small ball, as Spo finally learned that Khalil Ware is good at basketball, and he eventually started starting him at the 5 next to Bam Adebayo. The problem is now the Heat have no backup bigs. Right now they have Nikola Jovic, who has put on a lot of weight. To his credit, he's been working hard in the weight room, but he's still more of a perimeter guy, definitely not a defender. And then our only other big is Kevin Love, who, 1, is old. He used to be big, but now he's skinny. He's turned into a GQ model, which shout out to him for that also. But I don't want a 37-year-old GQ model being our backup center. So the Heat definitely need more size and lots of it. I think the Heat understand that, which is why they've loaded their summer league team with these undrafted, bruising bigs in the hopes of finding one that stands out. And you never know, because pretty much in every summer league, there's someone in the Miami Heat system who really catches your eye that you weren't initially expecting. We detailed this in other videos, but just to name a few, Duncan Robinson, for one, wish him the best in Detroit, but Kendrick Nunn, Orlando Robinson, Isaiah Stevens last year, there's always a bunch of guys that are always one guy that stands out who you never heard of before, which is why I kind of want to do these breakdown videos so we have some prior knowledge before Summer League kicking off. One reason that I am hopeful about Dain Dainja is because he's only 22 years old, same as Omar Ballo, but both those guys are 2 years younger than Vlad Golden and Steve Settle, who are 24 years old. So you got a little bit more room to grow there. Dain did play 1 season at Baylor before playing his sophomore and junior seasons at Illinois, which it sucks that he left Illinois in 24, because he would have played with Kasparis at their Kasparis freshman season there. So those two would have already had some chemistry. But in 2024, Dain did leave Illinois and went to Memphis for his senior season, where he averaged 15 points per game, 7 rebounds, got you 1.5 blocks almost, on a very, very efficient 62% from the field. And that's on 10 attempts. So he was getting shots up there. Obviously, most of them are on the inside, but that just goes to show that he's a very, very efficient finisher inside the paint. The cool thing about the Memphis, University of Memphis, is that Penny Hardaway is their coach. Of course, Heat legend Penny Hardaway, really just an NBA legend, and he's just done an excellent job over there rebuilding that program over the last several years. I know I found in my research that Penny had a lot of great things to say about Dain Dainja. There's quotes of him praising his hard work and his energy and his efforts. A lot of those quotes actually came out when Dain's request to have another year of eligibility was denied, because, Dain, like we said, he's only 22, only played 4 years of college ball, which is a lot shorter than the other guys we talked about. But it's because he actually wanted to play another year. He's a guy who was getting better every year. He was hoping that his draft stock could increase with another year of college. But when he applied for the more eligibility, he actually got denied. So that's why he's now became an undrafted free agent, and the Heat were able to pick him up. Now, Penny Hardaway wasn't the only guy who had some pretty great things to say about him. I found some other University of Memphis or Memphis-based pods who are more in the know, and this is what they had to say about Dain Dainja.
Most improved player for sure, 100%. Most improved career. I'm willing to put his career, collegiate career, up against almost anybody, just to see the development, to see what he was doing and to see what he's doing now. I mean, it truly is a complete 180. He's playing like a man-child right now.
I love him.
Danger!
Yo, he's got crazy footwork. He's also got this, attitude about him that I just love. And he looks like he could kick your ass.
Oh, yeah.
For real, kick your ass. He looks mean as hell. I love him. Look at this dude, bro. Get off me. He just rips the ball away from people, and then the 3 blocks in 90 seconds. Look at this.
Too little.
Too little. And look, he's always pissed off. I love it. He's always pissed off. He always looks like he's about to fight you.
Yeah.
These clips got me excited. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, you hear them talking about his work ethic and his development. So he's sort of a late bloomer, which is exactly what you want to see from one of these summer league guys, because in theory, they can still turn into a very great, or at least a capable rotation player in the NBA, because, the fact is not everybody is great by the time they're 19 or 20. Some guys are late bloomers. We see that all the time, especially on the Heat roster. Whether it was Duncan Robinson or Hayward Highsmith, the Heat are excellent at finding these guys, and a lot of times they're late bloomers like Dain Dainja, and that also goes to a credit to their hard work. Just because they weren't always the highest touted or the most talented, they continue to work hard and bust their ass because they do have a goal playing in the NBA, and that's what Dain Dainja is. We also heard them talk about his toughness and his energy and really just a whole bunch of things that sounded like a Heat culture guy, and we need more of that. How many times can I say it? I want some more toughness, and that's exactly what Dain is. So just hearing all these comments from people who are in the know, it really made me optimistic just about his whole play style and fit in the Miami Heat system. Some strengths that I want to point out that I noticed from personally watching his film is, one, his footwork is incredible. Sort of just because of his size, he reminds me of DJ Burns. Remember Burns from, he was in the tournament 2 years ago? What was he on? NC State, that really, really big dude. He was like 6'9", 275. So he was even a lot bigger than Dain Dainja. But both those guys had great footwork. And y'all might know I'm partial to a guy with footwork. I love that type of game. We got the Hakeem Olajuwon Funko Pop back here. That's my favorite player of all time. I just like guys who are able to manipulate the defender from the post, and that's exactly something that Dain knows how to do, and he knows how to use his body as leverage to get off some pretty easy looks. He's also pretty good at finishing with both hands. He's primarily a lefty, but I did see him go to that right hand on a couple of jump hooks sometimes, so it is nice that he has that versatility. Just makes you a whole other level of unstoppable when you can spin over both shoulders, you use both hands, finish with scoops, finish over the hand. That just makes you a pretty dominant finisher when you got that kind of versatility. I also noticed that he had a pretty nice push shot from mid-range, even sometimes about 12 to 15 feet out. So that's some pretty far distance that he's getting these floaters up. And for someone his size to have that kind of touch is just very impressive as well. I also saw some pretty nice passing highlights. He put a little bit of flair on them, a little bit of the Magic Johnson, a little bit of those no looks. That kind of got me excited to show that kind of like Omar Ballo, he has some of that creativity to him, and he's not just some big stiff who was good in college because he's big. I don't think that's the case. I think Dain Dainja has a little bit more skill to him. Of course, I'm just watching highlights. I know he had quite a bit of turnovers in college, 3 turnovers a game his last year at Memphis, which is not good. But maybe that just means he was trying things out there. I don't know. We can only judge so much based off highlights. But the fact that we at least saw some clips of him passing the ball does show that he has some kind of vision to him. And then I also want to note that I saw a lot of second and third efforts on rebounds. That shouldn't be surprising based off all the things we heard about how much of a great energy player that he is. But still, impressive nonetheless when you consider his size, that he's not a guy who gets tired easily. He is relentless, and he will outwork you in order to get the rebound. And finally, just his overall strength and toughness, something that this Heat team needs. That's what Dain Dainja is. As far as his weaknesses, most of the ones that I've seen are pretty much the same as Omar Ballo. I mean, these guys are similar players. Dain is definitely not a floor spacer. A career 55% free throw shooter in college on 5 attempts. In 4 years of college, only shot 1 3. He missed it. So you're not getting floor spacing with him. Of course, you're going to have lateral quickness concerns, so he's not going to be a perimeter defender, but that's fine. Not every center needs to be able to guard the perimeter. Like, Dain has a 7'7" wingspan, and he uses that length and energy and tenacity just to wreak havoc inside blocking shots. So I don't care if he's not the quickest laterally. He'd be used as like an energy big, play maybe 15, 20 minutes a night. That's all you need from him. And then finally, my biggest question is whether his body can hold up over 82 games. The size is nice. 260 pounds is nice. But when you're in a longer NBA season and the teams rely on you to go all out for 82 games, can your body hold up? That'd be a question I want to see. But of course, once you get him in the Heat development staff, I fully trust that they can optimize his body and strength to be able to last over the course of an NBA season. So as far as his fit on the Miami Heat, it's pretty clear. He would be the backup energy big that we've needed for a while, or we've been looking for. We've tried with Dwayne Dedmon and Cody Zeller and Thomas Bryant, who was okay. It would just be nice to get a little bit of a younger guy. The Heat are obviously looking for that right now. Right now, Vlad Golden has that two-way spot. probably because he has more potential as a versatile offensive player, good free throw shooter, could space the floor a little bit. So that's why he has that two-way spot as of now. But things could change based off everyone's performance in the Summer League. Right now, I believe another two-way spot will go to Drew Smith, although that's not official yet either. But let's assume it does. You still get 3 two-way spots. If Golden keeps his, if Drew Smith gets the second, you still have a third spot open. And I could see that going to either Omar Ballo, Dain Dainja, or Steve Settle III. We'll just kind of have to see how Summer League plays out. But that's really all I got to say for this video. Make sure y'all like the video and comment your thoughts down below, because I'm very curious to hear what y'all think. Based off the guys we talked about so far, Ballo, Dain, Settle, Vlad, let me know which guy you like the most, and let me also know which of those guys you'd like to see fill the 3 two-way spots, even if it's not Drew Smith. Also, make sure to subscribe. I'm on the grind to hit 8,000 subs, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.